Last updated 17/19, October 11, 2017. Hollywood Alisters are only now starting to voice their opinions about movie producer Harvey Weinstein following sexual harassment allegations. The professional trajectory of Harvey Weinstein, the famed and feared Hollywood mogul, has been as volatile as his personality. One of Hollywood's most powerful producers, Weinstein co-founded Miramax Films, growing the studio into a behemoth that changed the way independent films were viewed. Weinstein's name has been attached to famous movies since he began his career in the 1970s. Along the way, he helped propel the careers of Quentin Tarantino and Steven Soderbergh, and won the admiration of countless critics and others. Meryl Streep called Harvey Weinstein God at the Golden Globes, but now his power is evaporating. But his reputation for abrasiveness and his legendary temper have earned him more than a few enemies along the way, making Weinstein the frequent target of award ceremony jokes and pointed anecdotes. Read more full coverage. Harvey Weinstein scandal. Harvey Weinstein: why was Hollywood silent for so long, claims Russell Crowe. Matt Damon helped spike a Weinstein expose Streep. Dench slam. Harvey Weinstein: Kiwi model says she feared for her life with Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein. Oscar-winning producer Harvey Weinstein takes leave after sex harassment claims. Matt Damon once compared him to a scorpion. There has been bad blood, too, with a former protege, Kevin Smith. Director Quentin Tarantino is among the Hollywood leading lights whose careers have been propelled by Weinstein. The complicated relationship Weinstein has with the industry was perhaps best summed up by a speech Meryl Streep gave at the Golden Globes. "I want to thank God, Harvey Weinstein," she joked. The Punisher. Old Testament, I guess. But a blockbuster story published Thursday by the New York Times represents perhaps the most severe blow to his career. The story aired decades of previously unknown sexual harassment accusations against Weinstein, who now says he plans to take a leave of absence. Meryl Streep compared Weinstein to the Old Testament's God in a speech at the Golden Globes. Here is a timeline of his ups and downs over the years. The glory years. In 1979, Weinstein and his brother, Bob, co-founded Miramax, which would help bring arthouse cinema into the mainstream. Harvey Weinstein and his brother Bob founded Miramax in 1979. They're pictured here in 2007. The studio broke through in the late 1980s with a trio of hits: Soderbergh's Sex, Lies, Videotape, Jim Sheridan's My Left Foot, which won Daniel Day-Lewis an Oscar, and Giuseppe Tornatore's Cinema Paradiso, which won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film. Disney bought the studio in 1993 for between $60 and $80 million, giving it an infusion of cash and the backing of a major company. Miramax continued its success, financing Tarantino's 1994 hit Pulp Fiction, which went on to be one of the most influential films of the decade. The film, which was made for $8.5 million, grossed more than $200 million worldwide. For an 11-year period from 1992 to 2003, Miramax Films saw at least one its films nominated for an Oscar each year, winning Best Picture for several of them, including The English Patient 1996, Shakespeare in Love 1998 and Chicago 2002. Pulp Fiction was one of Miramax's big hits in the 1990s. Other acclaimed films that came out of Miramax included Good Will Hunting 1997 and The Cider House Rules 1999, and hits like Scream 1996 and Jackie Brown 1997 kept the money flowing. Miramax was known for pursing Oscars with a drive and a budget previously unknown in the industry, placing more advertisements, lobbying more voters, dismissing more rivals, and sending out more freebies than other studios, The Washington Post reported. Good Will Hunting was another Miramax hit, but the Weinstein brothers became known for their ruthless way of doing business. Miramax ran on fear. "They're intimidating, they shout a lot, they foam at the mouth," Stuart Birkin, who started at the company in 1991, told Vanity Fair. Even as he was dominating Hollywood, according to the Times, Harvey Weinstein was accused of serial sexual harassment. The actress Ashley Judd said that while she was shooting the 1997 film Kiss the Girls, he lured her to his hotel room for a meeting, trying to force her to give him a massage or watch him shower. "How do I get out of the room as fast as possible without alienating Harvey Weinstein?" she recalled in an interview with The Times. Throughout the 1990s, The Times reported, Weinstein settled with numerous women, including a young assistant in New York in 1990, actress Rose McGowan in 1997, and an assistant in London in 1998. The painful years, things took a downturn professionally for Weinstein in the 2000s. Disney parted ways with the Weinsteins in 2005 after arguments over the studio's ballooning movie budgets and disagreements over the degree of their autonomy. Harvey and Bob started a new independent studio, the Weinstein Company, that same year. But Harvey seemed to have lost some of his touch. Between 2005 and 2009, the Weinstein Company released some 70 films, many of which nobody wanted to watch. Flops included the 2005 film Derailed, featuring actors Clive Owen and Jennifer Aniston, which critics derided as a glossy and often risible bit of trash, and laughable. According to a New York Times profile of the brothers, more than a quarter of the films in that four-year stretch fell short of the $1 million box office mark in the United States. Of those, 13 took in less than $100,000. "I think I took my eye off the ball," Weinstein told Vanity Fair in 2011. "From about 2005, 2006, 2007, I was out of it. I thought I could oversee movies and have it done for me, so to speak." During that period, Weinstein also branched out into other fields, buying part of the Halston fashion brand, part of the cable network Ovation, and the social networking site A Small World. "When I first got there, in 2008, the focus was not on movies," David Glasser, the president of the Weinstein Company, told Vanity Fair. "Harvey was focused on internet and fashion and the global media picture." Complicating matters, NBC Universal sued the Weinstein Company in 2008 for making a deal to move the reality show Project Runway from Bravo to Lifetime. The Weinstein Company later settled with NBC Universal for an undisclosed amount. The comeback. The year 2011 marked Harvey Weinstein's professional resurgence. The King's Speech, starring Colin Firth, was nominated for 12 Oscars, taking home the Best Picture trophy. Critics piled on praise, calling Weinstein the comeback kid. "Look, there are 4-5 businesses we never should have been in and we ended up humbled and learned from that experience," Weinstein told The Times in 2011. "We are concentrating on movies, pulling the band back together, and I think the coming year could be as good or better than any we ever had at Miramax." The next year, Weinstein cleaned up at the Golden Globes for The Iron Lady, My Week with Marilyn and The Artist, which would win Best Picture at the Oscars. Streep paid him homage during that Globe ceremony with her God quote. As Gawker put it, Weinstein had risen from the grave to feast on the bones of his enemies. That year, he was named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. The Fall. In its investigative story about sexual harassment allegations against Weinstein, The Times reported that he reached at least 8 settlements with women over the years. In a statement to The Times, Weinstein said, "I appreciate the way I've behaved with colleagues in the past has caused a lot of pain, and I sincerely apologize for it. Though I'm trying to do better, I know I have a long way to go. That is my commitment. My journey now will be to learn about myself and conquer my demons." As the Washington Post's Stephanie Mary put it, Weinstein's statement to The Times is a mix of remorse, rap lyrics, and an attempt to distract from his indiscretions by bringing up his fury at the NRA. Most importantly, it doesn't contradict the allegations. One of his attorneys, Charles Harder, told The Hollywood Reporter that Weinstein plans to sue the newspaper, charging that the story relies on mostly hearsay accounts and a faulty report. Another lawyer who is advising Weinstein said in a statement that he denies many of the accusations as patently false, according to The Times. Weinstein said in his statement that he planned to take a leave of absence to deal with this issue head-on, while the board of the Weinstein Company investigated the allegations. However, the company's investigations don't appear to have taken very long. On Monday, just 3 days after the New York Times story was published, the Weinstein Company announced Harvey Weinstein had been fired. Since then, more women have accused Weinstein of deviant sexual behavior. The most high-profile were A-list actresses Gwyneth Paltrow and Angelina Jolie. Paltrow told the New York Times she was sexually harassed by Weinstein, while Jolie said he had made unwanted advances on her which she rejected in a hotel room in the late 1990s. But perhaps more damning were reports in The New Yorker that Weinstein had raped 3 women, including Italian actress and director Asia Argento. Weinstein's lawyers have denied any allegations of non-consensual sex. Stuff.